Welcome back to another episode of Just Jossin' Around. I have two very exciting guests today. I have David Sean back again.
Hold
a
on.
fan
Do
favorite.
Do that again. And do it David the Gay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have David the Gay back in the studio. Guys, welcome David the Gay. And also we have MJ Peters. Welcome.
Thank
First
you.
time on. I'm so excited that this worked out, having you on.
Heck yeah.
I was telling Grace, you're very comedy adjacent, so I always see you. You host the Down Under open mic.
Yes.
So I'm always bombing in front of you. It feels great.
In front of her.
And yeah, I know. But she's still like, no matter how it's going, I will look at MJ and it's just, she's giving me, it's a supportive glance. You're always locked in.
Heck yeah.
I appreciate it.
Now, the Down Under open mic,
Yes.
that was my first open mic ever that I ever went to back in 2015. It's been going on forever.
Yeah.
It's been, how long have you been running it?
I've been running for 2 years.
Okay. And back then it was very comedy centric, but do you get kind of a mix now?
It's a good mix. And the comics usually come at a certain time of the night. It's
Yeah.
usually after
do I.
11. Yeah. And so it's kind of cool because we have singer-songwriters at the beginning of the night, and then we have comics, and then the end of the night is kind of a mix of singing, songwriting, and poetry. So it's kind of cool how the night is broken up every week, but it's always a mix.
Your crowd, like the crowd that is at Down Under, is the most respectful comedy, more respectful than like some crowds in actual comedy clubs. Like they will, no matter what, like even if it's like there was music before, they've been talking, they will all like shut up and even if they're still talking, like you get on them and they lock in for comedy. It's great.
That's so respectful.
It is.
Awesome.
It's insane. You don't get that from a mixed mic. A mixed mic is like, the challenge of doing it is the fact that you're competing with like other facets of talent and you're like, no one wants to like listen to my fucking stand up. Yeah. So it's great. It's one of my favorites.
We want to hear your stand-up.
I'm blushing. I'm excited to have both of you on. I did want to ask, I'd only seen this from like social media stuff. I know you guys collabed on like a project or something together. Tell me about that. I want to know more.
So Omaha has a 48-hour film festival, and they basically give you there's categories, and so you get to like they basically pull the category out of a hat. So it's like random what categories people get, and then they give you a prompt of a line that has to be used in the movie and a prop that has to be used in the movie. And then you get 48 hours to film it. So they tell you what you're doing Friday night, and it has to be turned in by what? Sunday afternoon, right?
Yep.
That is a fun concept.
So
fun. Yeah.
MJ co-directed with Lauren Abel.
Okay.
Abel.
Lauren Abel.
Yep.
I'm not saying people's last names like that. This is not. But we collaborated, and I came in as the actor for the movie. But it was like
Shining star.
Yeah, me and Josh Fu were in it for the most part. MJ had a couple of scenes in there as well, which was really fun. But yeah, we had 48 hours to film it, and we got comedy, which was like a blessing.
But yeah,
it was so exciting.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Is that like something that happens every year?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And it happened over, what was it, Labor Day weekend too, right?
Yep, it was.
It's just wild to like run around, and we were very ambitious. Like we had several locations, costume change. I mean, it was a lot.
I
I
love that.
It was extremely hot that day.
It was so hot. It was
the whole
weekend.
111 degrees.
Yeah.
And I had a full bra on and a dress and a wig and a full face of makeup. It was wild. I don't know if the video is on YouTube, but it's
I want to find it. What is
Private Eyes. Private Eyes.
Yep.
We were Josh and I were like private detectives.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and
I was the assistant.
and yeah, she was the assistant. It was so funny. It was really, really good.
That's awesome.
I was bummed it didn't win, but whatever.
I know I was gonna ask where it placed, but
Didn't we get honorable
mention? Yeah.
I'll take it.
yeah, that's not
So that was
honorable.
my first interaction with MJ.
Really?
Yeah.
MJ, have you seen David do stand up?
I haven't. I haven't yet.
Oh, you have to.
I want to so bad.
Yeah.
Do you have any shows coming up?
Yes, University of Missouri tomorrow. Drive 4
Shut up.
hours.
Shut up. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that is so cool.
Why?
So just in front of college kids?
Yeah, so Danny, the comic
Yeah.
I tour with, him and I that's how I met him. He was out doing college gigs.
Okay.
And so that's what we do. He's flying
Yeah.
in, I open for him.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit about me. They just want to see the guy from Mean Girls, but that's fine. I don't care.
Especially now with the new Mean Girls out, like the resurgence.
And it's really affecting everybody in that space. However, as excited as everybody was for the movie, I mean, nobody wants to talk about the Walmart commercial that really just overshadowed the movie because it got a lot of the main cast back together in a true awesome. And the way that they kind of circled back to what their lives are now was just chef's kiss. So good.
Capitalism really popped off.
Capitalism really popped off to pieces.
I'm so excited. I kind of have David. I mean, I personally, when it comes to reading comics, you do it like no one else. I have,
and I have no right to.
No, but you.
It's the gay instinct.
But you're so talented at it, and so I kind of want to do a segment called Book Club.
Oh, okay.
Where we're reading these bitches. Okay.
Who are we reading?
I saw a clip on Facebook that I want to show you guys. First of all, I want to like set it up going in. I don't know how you guys feel. How do we feel about roast battles? What are your thoughts, opinions?
I personally do not enjoy them. Okay.
Yeah.
And my most recent roast was the roast of 2023 at the Backline, right? And instead of roasting each other as comics, we each picked a year that we would represent.
Yeah.
And I picked 2020 because I'm like, oh, that'll be fun.
Yes.
And then I got COVID.
That was actually, I remember hearing about this.
Yeah.
That is the funniest and honest. That was the best. I mean, not that you got COVID, but
no, it
you
was
know.
not good.
Yeah.
It was like literally the second day that I had it too.
Yeah.
And I was so miserable. And I had put off writing anything up until the last minute. So I hadn't written anything.
Yeah.
And then I didn't have the energy to do it. So I just like really phoned it in.
Yeah.
And literally too, because I zoomed in to the show and they put it up on the projector on stage. It was fun, but it was definitely not the way that I wanted to do that show. I just feel like when it comes to roasts, there's such a, like I've assisted in writing jokes for roasts, but me having to like sit down, write and deliver stuff. Yeah. Like I can be cunty and write a joke, but I just can't, that delivery of like, being like that in front of them is not. I read and I am mean in a very fun way. I'm definitely. It's my sensitivity really just putting up a wall. So.
I agree. I think that the roast, when it's like a fun maybe theme, like I remember there was a show called Fandom Fights that was like you dress up as a character and you roast.
That's a fun idea.
Based on the character. Yeah, and I think that's great because I think and this is something that I stole from another comic. I think people forget that roast battles are like a like self-aggrandizing thing. That is definitely something I stole from a comic, but that's like a great perspective on it. Like, so I feel like these comics go up there and they roast and they think the audience is not in on what they don't know your life like you think they do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've been seeing this trend of people doing these roast battles, and there's a clip I want to show you guys that I saw online. And
is this like a local roast battle?
Oh, this is a local roast battle. You might recognize these names. So, yeah, I mean, let's just sit back and take it. This show at this venue, I mean, there's just a lot of factors that I hate.
Okay, hold on. So pause it for a second. First of all, the person who posted it.
I know.
What am
Sickening.
I supposed to do?
Yeah.
I don't have my glasses on, so I'm like,
you should be able to hear whatever.
So first of all, where is this?
This is Beach House.
Oh,
this
I haven't
is
been
Beach
there
House,
yet.
Formerly known as Wired Pub.
Also haven't been there.
Sounds very
home of the
hetero to me. Doesn't seem like a
just
place. They seem like they have a steakhouse.
Genuinely,
burger,
there will be a crescendo at the end, but I just want to,
All right, so we have who's on stage?
It's Caleb Salvatore hosting, and then we have comic Zach Kruger. Turn it up. How's the audio?
It's fine. I mean, it's fine, but it seems like the OG audio is shit
it's
anyway.
trash.
Anything you want to say? I hope you guys like fat jokes.
Pause.
Who's going first?
Did he say, I hope you like fat jokes?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, this is like, I mean, we're not even at
the opening line.
Right.
This is
lost you.
There's already so much going on.
There's a lot.
Zach's going to die first, so he might as well go first. All right, Zach, round one. Let's do it.
All right, just wanted to say thanks for taking a break from looking at pictures of your victims. But
I don't get it.
Carter was on the swim team in high school, and now he's attempting stand-up comedy. So Carter is kind of like Matt Rife. Not funny, and a faggot.
Any comments to make?
That's the clip.
Okay.
What year was
clip.
this?
No, for real.
Last week,
No,
probably.
literally, it was a very recent roast battle. I saw that clip.
Now, I have
Yeah.
I have so many things that
I know it's a lot to unpack, and that's why we're here in this space right now.
I think that just like in drag, all drag is valid, and I think that in certain respects, all comedy is valid. But I think where problems come into play is people's disrespect for the art of comedy, because people like that tend to just really go for the most outlandish, brash commentary right out the gate instead of building up to it at all. And that's where the craft is. That's where the magic is that you have to earn that permission to be brash, to be, bold
was so well
with
said.
what you're saying. And people don't understand that. You have to, when I started stand-up, I didn't come out of the gate just being very aggressive with the things that I was talking about. I wasn't saying faggot. I wasn't, being that crude in the beginning, because I understood that I needed to not only earn the respect of the audience, but of the other comics as well. I needed to be a well-rounded comedian in order to get invited to do stuff. And I think locally, maybe I don't get invited to do a ton of stuff anymore, just because I'm not in the scene of stuff, in the scene and as much as I was, but also I don't want to engage with that, because if I was there in person there, that would have probably upset me, because, so the other comic, Carter was there, but who was the other one?
The one hosting the event was Caleb Salvatore.
And does he identify as homosexual?
No one in that room is... Sorry, I hit the table.
I just think that there's... I mean, listen, we all need to be educated. I think people have made the joke a lot of times about there needing to be HR in comedy sometimes, which I don't necessarily agree with. But I think that if I, a queer person, am putting forth the effort in trying to engage with the cis hetero members of the community, they should do the same to me, instead of just not even trying and using a word like that on stage.
That's literally what was so there was a lot that was really upsetting about that, but it was just the fact that I was and mind you, this person talks to me regularly. They approach me in comedy regularly. Never have I ever heard them in conversation use that language, but the second you're in a room where not a single queer person is present, it's it rolls off the tongue so easy.
I feel like Caleb and Carter, I feel like I've met Caleb at a show or an open mic before, and I feel like they approach me fine, and there's respect there or whatever, but I think that maybe there just needs to be some understanding or education as to why we don't talk like that, or why if you are a cis hetero comic, you shouldn't. That's not for you to say. That's not your word to say. We spent so much time taking that word back from being a hateful word. And I say it regularly because I don't want it to be a hateful word.
Yeah.
I want to, give it oxygen in a better way.
Yeah.
And just saying it like that, are you degrading?
There was no.
Are you degrading homosexuals by using that? Because that obviously sounds like an insult.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't know Caleb's perspective on things. Maybe, but I think that in general, just like I don't go out of my way to make jokes about straight men not being able to please their wives, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't step into my space because you don't exist there. And there are a lot of comics in the scene who tend to ask me questions because they're like, oh, a queer person, I can ask you this, or I can. And I often find myself being a sounding board for horrible jokes or horrible references or whatever. So I think that there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
And I don't think that any audience experience should be like that. And I think that there's plenty of different ways to be even more hateful and harsh in a roast situation outside of using hateful language like that.
Yes. Yeah. And it's just and I have always, entering comedy, I am I never saw myself as the type to police. I'm I don't have the space, but then it's I see stuff like that and I'm well, that's what happens when no one's outwardly being
sure.
fuck that shit. Like when no one's like calling it. And what really frustrates me, that comic specifically, is I have found punchlines to their material on comments on like Twitch streams. Like they are not original at all. So as much as I want to say, you know, maybe write a better joke if you feel like you need to use that language, they're not capable. So I'm like, it's frustrating.
Early on in my stand-up career, I heard a lot of different people in open mics who would show up occasionally and then never show up again. Tell like Eddie Murphy jokes or Dane Cook material or like just
that's crazy to me.
Wild to me. And I found myself in a lot of ways when I started doing stand up and pursuing it consistently, I found myself not listening to or watching as much stand up because I didn't want to subconsciously like spew something out that was a joke of somebody else's because I never wanted to be.
And I think that there's like a loving way where if that happens, like if you hear a premise that is like, you know, maybe aligned with someone else, a joke that's already been done, you can tell them, and that can be done. But with this guy, I'm just like, no, you're a hack.
It's very hacky, and I just don't. There was no, I don't know. It didn't seem like there was a lot of roasting going on there necessarily.
Not at all. But I wanted to ask you, MJ, as like a host of an open mic, have you ever encountered situations where you've had to intervene based on someone's material, or like how do you? I don't know. What do you do in that situation? Yeah.
I luckily do have a team, like the sound guy, Maya Compton, who runs our sound every week. And then our lovely bartenders. One of the bartenders who's there every Wednesday is also the manager and the booking manager. So, you know, they have ears on the stage at all times as well. So I don't feel alone in calling someone out or I have to like stop what they're doing. I have backup. So it's a lot more comfortable. I have had a couple times where I think only once where I kind of ushered somebody off the stage. Yeah. But it was more because they were rambling about something and they were kind of over their time. So it was like,
you were like,
I was like, let's just, no one's resonating with what you're saying. So let's just get off the stage. But the other time was it got kind of dark. Yeah. And I I was really new to the open mic. I think I had only been running it for like 3 months and something happened on stage that was not appropriate. And I kind of blacked out. I was like, oh, what am I? Like, I didn't even think that I was supposed to do something. Yeah. You know, and then luckily, again, it was like the sound guy kind of like, turned the mic off slowly, started playing music. I went up there and was like, okay, we're going to switch over the stage. And then after that, I talked to some people and I was like, okay, I need to say something. I need to acknowledge to the audience that we know that this is not okay. Yeah. And so then that's what I did afterward. And but it was, again, luckily I have that support system.
That is great. Yeah. That's tough. I think that's what I've run into. And one of the mics that I really appreciate that I feel like has been, I don't know. It's like 50-50 on how the comedy scene feels about it. But like, I think the Sydney has become like a great space for comics to come. And I love that the people that put that on, like, if you're on stage talking about like shit that like, I mean,
it's been the most queer open mic that I've been to. Yeah. And it seems like a good space for us in that regard. And that's kind of what we need as we continue to grow in this space. I have, not to like toot my own horn, but in Omaha, I've been like the OG gay comic for like a minute, There are other people that identify as like bi or whatever that have been in the scene for a while, but it's just, I've seen so many people come and go. And right now I see kind of a resurgence of like queer comedy in Omaha a little bit. And I really enjoy seeing it. I mean, there's some queer stand-up shows out there that, I mean, shouldn't be happening, but, it's just one of those things where, we need our space too. And the space, 80% of the space in comedy in Omaha is just taken up by cis hetero white guys.
Correct.
Which is fine, but they need to be accepting spaces. They need to be spaces where we're fostering growth and stuff like that. I just don't. I wish you would show me that clip later in the episode.
You're like, I'm sorry.
I'm just like reeling. And I really want to just like say a lot of things, but like I'm also finding myself in a space where like I've never been the type of person to go out and like openly comment on somebody's ability to just stand up because I don't know what I'm doing either. We're all just like trying our best.
Exactly.
We're not like, and I'll maybe ask for advice sometimes, but I've never been the type of person to give unsolicited advice. David Kalsgaard. I'm just kidding. He knows. I give him shit about that all the time.
Oh my God. I gotta
But
get
he gave me a lot of advice back in the day. I'd be like, okay, sis. Like, I'm just sure.
But that being said, I think it is really important to give each other feedback.
Yes.
You know, I think that's something that we do lack in the community as any type of performance goes. I see that in the musicians, and I see that with the comics. And I think it's so important to talk to each other about where we're at and how we can progress.
And I 100% agree with you.
Yes.
But there are a lot of times when I'm in those spaces and I'm so outnumbered by the number of people saying things that they shouldn't be saying or, saying things that are not appropriate. And I would spend so much time correcting those things or pointing out, why some of those things could be problematic. I think a lot of people would take it in and maybe absorb it, but a lot of times I just feel like I would be wasting my breath and I would be spending a lot. And I also don't want to be the person. I want to go to an open mic and just have a good time.
Exactly.
I don't want to be the person just being like,
yes,
well, you said, and I do enjoy like cis hetero straight comics just saying stuff like in the gay realm, as long as it's funny. There's comics out there that have bits about things that are queer and they're funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can dip your toe in that space. But the other thing I also expect from you as well is for you to make space for people like me in your life. And I feel like 9 times out of 10, the comics that are providing some sort of commentary or whatever don't have queer people in their life.
Yeah.
So
no, a conversation that has been circulating around the community that or in the scene at least that I hear is that I think these comics, especially these newer comics that come in, they spend so much time watching people like Rogan and just professional comedians that resemble what they are trying to do. And they see them doing that and go, okay, well, I can. And it's like, no, because that person has a following. That person has
that person has been doing it for 30 years
exactly.
and has built up to that space. And what's interesting to me is that so many of those comics that admire those type of comics, they don't do the things that, like me personally, I find myself doing. When I listen to comedy or I watch comedy or whatever, I'm listening to Joe Rogan. I'm listening to these comics that maybe ideologically I don't follow or, agree with what they're saying, but I'm at least getting that perspective. And I feel like a lot of just cis hetero white comics just are not stepping outside of their comfort zone when it comes to comedy to listen to a Tig Notaro or a Mateo Lane or whatever, you know?
Yes, there's very few comics. It's like, it's very frustrating, but if they just took the time to maybe be a student of comedy and learn and maybe sit down and write and improve. But it just is, I think that's what's really frustrating is that it's just like they have this entitlement to comedy and then they come in just hot on it, and it
not nary a person in this comedy scene has any right or need to be entitled in any way, shape, or form. We all need to be humbled.
Yes,
we all need to be humbled.
Yeah,
most of us don't have anything to rest our laurels on when it comes to comedy, except for Cameron Loxton. I mean,
Cameron,
he's killing it right now. But
he's doing great.
But most of us are not humble enough in the work that we're doing. And the thing that I have really not appreciated for a long time is how we tend to attack each other and come after each other. That's why I want to be cunty about that video that you just showed me, but I'm trying my best not to be, because I know that people listen to this and I know that the comedy scene listens to this, and I want them to understand that in a lot of ways we do need to get along because we're all doing the same stupid fucking thing.
Yeah.
We're getting up there and talking about our tiny dicks. Like, it's just not... It's not serious. It's not a serious thing that we're doing. No. We're trying to bring joy in some way, shape, or form. And the way that so many of us just mope around and just are such bums at these open mics. The other thing is, stop beating yourself up. Nobody remembers it. Nobody's going to remember your shitty 5-minute set from 2016. Only you. Yeah. You need to use that as an opportunity to not beat yourself up, but to grow as a comic. Find your rhythm, find what you're doing, and then do what I do and do the same fucking jokes since 2018. Like, it doesn't.
Amazing jokes.
None of this matters. It's supposed to be a fun thing.
Yes.
And we have to just fist fuck it to death and just ruin it. If this is something that you want to pursue, Omaha is not where you're going to make it big again, unless you're Cameron Loxton.
Zach Peterson. Yeah.
By the way, go to his taping at
March
the Backline, March 30th. Is there a 7 and a 9 p.m.
There's going to be a 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. show. I'm going to be hosting.
Yeah.
My entire family will be there.
But inflate Cameron Logston and talk about him, and then he just leaves me unseen on Instagram.
Shut up. All right.
He's a busy man.
I will tag
He's got
him.
a lot going on.
No, we're going to let him know. Answer those fucking DMs, Cameron.
Yeah. I was telling Grace, too, you need to make more time to make more clips when I'm on, especially. Because the last time I was on, we had so many good sound bites, and you just posted one shitty clip.
Oh, my God. Number one. Oh, my God. Number two. I also don't think I don't know if I was like editing.
Wow.
Yet.
Throw Grace under the bus.
No, I'm not throwing Grace under the bus.
Wow. Drag her.
I would say that they were probably made, and once they were sent, they were not posted.
Oh, shots fired. Shots fired.
I'll go
Welcome
in the
to Just
archives.
Dated in a Round. Okay. Joss is gone.
Yeah, I'm being replaced. It's fine. It's okay. My successor.
MJ, I need to come to Studio Days. Will you tell us about Studio Days?
Please.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. One of the many things that I do is I own a photo studio called Studio Days. It's located in Benson, and we have this really dope Infinity Cove, is what we call it. It's like a psych wall, but more. And
that's important to avoid like shadows and stuff, right? Because it's basically just like you could go skateboarding on it. It's like
seamless wall.
Yeah.
And it's super bright. I just got a new light that I'm super excited about.
I need to come get
So
photos.
is it a situation where you come in, with a photographer using your phone or something like that, or do you have photographers that can provide services there as well?
Usually you bring your own photographer.
Okay.
I do have people, in my roster that if somebody needed a recommendation, they can reach out to Studio Days directly, and I can help hook them up with the right photographer that they need based on the project. But usually, you kind of bring in your own crew and project or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And I provide the space and materials.
Can I do nude photos there? Is
I do. We do allow boudoir. Boudoir
Ooh,
is
heck yeah.
kosher. Yeah.
What does that mean, that I have to have like a underwear on? Is that a boudoir situation?
I would work it out with your. Yeah, I would work it out with the photographer.
Okay.
Legally, I don't know what the line is.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's fine.
We'll find out. We will get that set up, and we'll find out what the line is.
Word. Cool. Thank you. Let me know. Email me.
There's honestly, a lot of comics listen to this, and I think that it's a really good thing to point out, because I personally back in the day really thrived on getting new headshots, getting new photos, to be able to use those to promote shows. Back when I started Gay AF back in the day, my stand-up show, I would do photo shoots with a lot of them, with James Dean, actually. The photographer turned comedian, Mr. James Dean.
Wow.
And it just really helped because the comics had new photos to use, and it also helped them like promote the show.
Yeah,
I think there's
posters.
obviously. I mean, do you promote?
Yeah.
Are you promoting Studio Days at your open mics?
I've heard you shout it out. Yeah,
really
I
should
think
be.
you did like a giveaway or something.
I did recently do a giveaway it was our 1 year anniversary at Studio Days, and so I was like, I want to give back to the all the people that come to open mic every
Oh,
every
that's right.
week. So
yeah.
Who was doing the photos for that?
For the what do you mean?
Oh, I thought didn't you do something where you were doing free headshots? No, that's a James Dean thing. Never mind.
I just gave away one free photo shoot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
And he hasn't done it yet. So
Oh, he's waiting.
yeah,
He's waiting to cash it in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exciting. I really want to go check it out, and I do need desperately photos.
It looks like such a fun space. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, it's great.
It
You
does.
should do some like laughter hours photos.
Laughter hours photos. I would like promo stuff for like the podcast would be cool.
Yes.
Like there's just a lot. And also I feel like, I don't know, I feel like just Jossin has like kind of a quirky vibe
It's
that
so
like
cute.
fits in with like the Studio Days vibe that I see.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I think that would be really cool. You kind of brought it up and I wanted to ask you about it. Is Gay AF making a resurgence? Is that coming back?
I think the plan is to bring it back. I used to do it monthly pretty consistently, and it was kind of exhaustive because it sold out every time.
Fuck yeah, it did.
It's just difficult to keep
Yes.
people interested because it was always sold out. But I think I'm going to bring it back. There's a space downtown called Luli Creative House. And it's like on a higher floor in the building. It's got a beautiful view of downtown. And it's just a big, open, beautiful space. And so I think I want to bring it back and do it there.
I love that.
And
So
yeah,
cool.
it's such a fun venue. So keep an eye out.
No, I will. I remember you kind of told me outside of the back line, like, you know, what the show was back when you were running it and how you would promote it. Some of the most creative promotion I've ever heard in my life.
It was another situation where back then, you know, there was a few queer comics, right? And we didn't really have like our own show or own space.
Yep.
So I started doing gay AF. I did it for the first time at the Omaha Mining Company downtown, which was
my gosh, me and Lauren went and checked out that bar.
when
Okay, can we actually talk about this? Because I would like to talk about my experience. We go to this bar, no music. No music's playing.
dead silent.
Dead silent.
Yep.
Is that normal?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
No.
Because I go in and it's like there's the bright ass lights. There's
Large black man sitting at the end of the bar. Owner. That's the owner. Now, have you been to the Omaha Mining Company?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
When?
I went, it was 2019. I went for a burlesque show.
Oh,
See,
okay.
I wonder if that's what me and Lauren have been thinking of. Like maybe the shows are like, you know.
When I originally approached them to do gay AF,
Yes.
what I wanted to do was I wanted to do it in that space. When you walk into the bar, that
Yes.
space to the left,
Yes.
there's like a little room.
Yes.
It's like a good space. Now, Omaha Mining Company used to be called The Run, and they had a lot of popularity because they would stay open until 4. They would stop serving alcohol at 2, but they would stay open until 4. And that area to the left was a dance floor. It was crazy wild time. But then it went under new ownership, and you know, it's just there's been a lot of changes there. But instead of being able to do gay AF in that room to the left, they had me do it in that big event space in the back, which was
I haven't seen
too
that.
big.
Yeah.
It's just a really big space with tall ceilings and stuff. It's not good for comedy. It's like fine for a drag show and stuff, but not great for comedy. And so I did the show there the first time. I had to give him like 50% of the door, and during the show, he raised the prices of drinks.
Shut up.
Yeah. So like the prices of drinks. So he
you
was
do
making
that?
more money.
Yeah, I'm like,
And I was like, I just put 85 people in your bar on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
And you're increasing the price. So that was the first and last time I ever did it there.
Yeah.
And then I did it at like Lookout Lounge for a bit when that was a thing. I think that's closed now. But I did it there for a while, and then eventually it made its way to the back line. And historically, I mean, the way I remember it, and somebody could correct me, but don't, like, shut up. When I started doing it at the back line, it was a Saturday night 10 p.m. show. And at that point in time, there wasn't a ton of shows happening on Saturday nights at 10 there. And it kind of started this resurgence of like people coming to the back line on Saturday nights. At least, again, that's how I remember it.
Sure.
And then when I stopped doing it, it kind of led the way for like Chuck and Bill to do their late night comedy show.
Yeah.
That's what took over that time slot.
oh.
And so there was this momentum that was happening that they continued, you know, with and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it just got to be kind of a bit, and then but I think I'm gonna bring it back and maybe just try to see if there's still interest or if
Yes,
people are
I think
still
there
wanting
will
to
be.
do it. So it should be good.
I'm excited. That's so exciting. Yeah, I sprung when you said Omaha Mine because that is something that happened. I was like, I need to talk. Like, is that a normal?
And then Saturday nights, everybody, if you go to the bar in the basement after 10 p.m., you take your underwear off and get fucked in the ass.
Shut up. Okay, this is still Omaha.
Sorry, MJ's parents, if you're listening. I'm so sorry.
They definitely are.
Oh no!
wait.
Oh,
they are?
No.
Oh,
For
no.
sure. They support everything that I do. They're fantastic.
Okay, then
God,
just
what is that like?
It's oh my gosh! I was saying.
I've recently been trying to write some stuff. You know, I have a lot of jokes about my mother.
Yes.
And she passed away last year. And so it's been difficult to kind of circle back to some of that stuff and like try to make jokes about it. But there's so much to make jokes about. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's something really funny in the fact that like I did stand up for so many years and I reference her so much and she never saw me do stand up. Not even once. Aww. It's just wild to me. And I know that there's something funny in there, but also
I getting your parents' support. It's like it's one thing that I'm like I don't.
How's your hot dad, by the way? Is he doing good?
He will be showing up to Cameron Logsdon special taping.
Oh, yeah.
I was just telling
him. What's his name?
Theodore.
Hey, ooh. Hey, Teddy.
It's a really nice name.
You guys are funny. It made me laugh. I was telling Grace before we started recording. My family has only ever seen me do stand up like at the Funny Bone. They like refuse to like go to shows outside of
Oh, really?
And I don't know if it's kind of like
They're like, if there's a logger, we're not going.
We're not. And so I tell them, I'm like, it's 7 p.m. on a Saturday, like Cameron's special. And they're like, we just bought tickets. Like, we'll all be there. Wow. And so I text Cameron and I go, this just goes to show that like my family is fans of me, but they are bigger fans of you.
He's great. I'm excited for him to do that.
I know. I'm like,
Tony Bonacci's filming it too.
Shut up. Okay.
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought I saw him post that he was doing that.
Oh my gosh. Awesome. That makes it literally.
Wow. You're going to have such a good video of your set to be able to do stuff with. Is he including you guys in his special? No, man.
I don't know. The thing that makes
I don't think people normally do that. I think it's just mainly about them, which is fine.
It is
the point of it.
Unless I know on Zach's special he had Cameron introducing him, and so like I don't know if maybe that will be included.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of wanted to do like a little sweet introduction because I've mentioned it on the podcast, but Cameron like got me into stand-up. Like,
oh really?
Yeah, I was like one of the only audience members at a show he was headlining, and he was like, you're either here because you got stood up on a date or you want to do stand-up, do it. And like I did the open mic like the following Wednesday.
What a leader.
Wow. Yeah, he really
now she's
is.
our problem.
Yeah.
How did you two meet?
Open mic.
Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Open mic. Yeah. I felt like there was something else though.
Well, and then we found out that you were the receptionist at the chiropractor office that I went to.
Oh,
do you remember?
I do. Oh my gosh, yes. For those who don't know, I used to be a receptionist at Essentials. I probably shouldn't have said the name of the business, but it's fine. They're doing great.
Dox them. What's their address?
No, I was the problem. I ghosted them, and I'm so sorry. I just moved to another city. So.
Yeah, no, you ghosted a lot of people.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
No, I did. I did. No, it was actually, I feel so bad because all the people at that place were lovely and gave great massages.
No,
so.
I was more just concerned. I was like, what happened to Joslyne? Like there was a solid like couple months that I was like, I hope she comes back.
She's like calling milk companies.
It was,
I need her put on the carton, please.
Yeah, but I think everybody needs to disappear now and again to get their shit together and like come back to the world.
Where was this?
I was living in Omaha, working as a receptionist. I was living in the dorms, and then I just got an apartment in Lincoln. No job lined up. I just was like, I'm going.
Yeah.
And I went because
you said Fuzzy's Tacos, sign me up.
And now I'm like clawing to get back into Omaha.
Yeah.
I think I have a space lined up that I will be moving into in May, which will be fucking great.
Is it the sound room? Are you moving in back there?
Yes,
you can move into this office here. Hurrdat Media, they got plenty of office space. Everybody.
You say that. Wait till you come in on a day where everyone's in the office. All of a sudden, we don't have.
When is that? It's Tuesday at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Why is no one here?
I thought the same thing. It was like, what a wasted space.
Right.
No, it's like.
Is this a front?
Grace, correct me if I'm wrong. Tuesdays are like the day like no one comes into the office.
Yeah, Tuesdays are flex days.
Yes.
So they're work from home.
Yes.
And so are Fridays.
Yes.
So.
And so are Wednesdays and Thursdays and
sometimes
Mondays.
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, definitely flex days.
Yeah, and if you're an intern, it's just anything.
Okay.
That's so funny.
Listen, you can do media from anywhere.
You can. It's a beautiful job because you just need your laptop and whatever bullshit you're doing. So it's beautiful. I love it here.
Yeah.
But
fantastic.
I don't know. I'm ready to move back to Omaha, not into this building, but a
Do
building.
Do it.
I need to. I will. I'm very depressed.
I can't believe
in
you drive
Lincoln.
all the way here to do stand up and all that. It's like
I know. I have a lovely supportive group that like if I need to like spend the night somewhere, I've got a place.
you can add me to that list.
Aww.
I have bedrooms.
I want to see your house.
It's cute.
I know it is.
So cute.
I know it is. I've seen pictures.
I love my house.
It's just well decorated.
Faggot. That's my word, Caleb.
That was one of my favorite clips from, and you know what? You said you don't like the clips. My favorite clip was from the last time we had you on, was when the bush was up.
Yeah.
You're like, she's got set design.
You were like, this faggot's coming in. I need to put out a plant.
The bush is over there, and I definitely thought about putting it on the table.
Yeah,
Just
now
for
we're doing
shits and
morning
giggles.
news table.
Yeah, I love the table.
Yeah, it's very morning news.
It is, and hides what's going on down here. So
I like that you switch it up too. Like
We're
sometimes when
bottomless.
like people are on couches and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just cool.
Yeah, it is nice to. I specifically requested the table though, because the last time we used the chairs and the angle was homophobic, and I was even though she only posted one clip of the entire thing.
Shut up. I can go on the Instagram and see that I definitely...
Can you at least put the videos on YouTube?
They are on YouTube.
Where? Name them. Name them.
Hurrdat Media YouTube.
Oh, there you
channel.
go. Shout out. Does anybody know this name them reference I'm doing?
What?
Does nobody watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
Oh my gosh. Wait.
Do you, Grace? No?
No.
Oh, okay.
I know we have like probably
Sutton's
5...
track. Hi, Stratton. I'm sure she's watching this.
I mean...
She's one of the housewives of Beverly Hills. She was like confronting Kyle Richards, and she's like, who said that? Name him. Name him. Name him. Name him. She says it like 9 times. It's wild.
what that makes me think of, like, I think it was from RuPaul's Drag Race where he's like, what do you do quickly? Or
Quickly.
like, yeah.
What do you do well?
What do you do well
That was
quickly?
Bianca Del Rio.
Yes.
Faggot. Me.
What do you do well? Quickly. I love
That's
that.
why they haven't given me a podcast yet, because I say the F word too many. They're like, not on Hurrdat.
Do you guys watch any scripted comedy shows?
Interesting.
You guys like
sitcoms or like
yeah,
what do you
or any kind of like single cam, multi-cam comedies?
Ooh.
I've recently started, I don't know, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes,
I've been watching that
yeah.
recently.
That's
Again, it's so good.
It's very
super
good.
funny.
Very
good. I started rewatching The Office a bit too,
Yes.
which I do enjoy.
Classic.
Yeah, those are kind of the big ones that come
Yeah.
to. Oh, 30 Rock was really good.
Yeah.
Looks great.
I need to get into 30 Rock.
You
I
haven't
feel
watched
like
it?
I haven't.
Oh, you're gonna love
You will love it. Yeah.
I definitely want to. Right now, I don't know if this counts as a comedy, but me and Lauren are watching Glee. And
yeah, sure.
it's
It's like rom-com.
but it's like, come on, it is so funny. It's so funny.
Where?
Is it funny?
Name them. Name them.
There's just a lot. I guess it's funny. It's not like
That cast
actually.
is cursed,
It's,
honey.
I know. Laura was telling me the lore of it all, and it's like the people that have died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's like
I have
cursed.
met.
It's crazy.
I have met a couple of cast members. The guy who was like in a wheelchair.
Oh my
on
gosh.
the show.
Yeah,
I
him.
met him.
Really?
And there was a young woman who was on the show early too. I can't remember her name either, but they were on it. And I met and so nice. But yeah, that cast
Yeah.
is just like cursed. There's
It
just
is.
like so many of them.
Sometimes I just remember
It's like Power Rangers.
Yeah. It is, but
Naya Rivera.
I like making fun of it.
So sad.
I do. There's just a lot.
Why do you like? Oh, what's interesting too is that is it maybe a little bit nostalgic for you too, because they're like covering songs that were like popular when you were 4.
Maybe I've never seen Glee. So Lauren, this is a rewatch for her, but for me, this is my first time, and the plot lines are insane. And I saw a post online that was like, "Wow, they really just like made the plot around what songs they wanted to sing," and it makes me
100%.
laugh so hard seeing it like that because it's so true.
Yep.
It's insane.
Jesse's Girl when they sang Jesse's Girl. And it's like literally.
Yes.
I was like, that couldn't have been more
Yeah, yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. Are you a big Glee fan too?
I watched it when it was new.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah,
You were
I
a
was
fan at
in-
the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't think I finished. Like I remember watching the first 2 seasons for sure.
How many seasons were there? I don't know. There was a lot because originally, like,
There's a lot. There's a lot. And there's like
Yeah.
22 episodes per season. It's literally, it's going to take forever to
Couldn't
get
be me.
through it.
Glee seasons. Let's see. Season 1 overview. Wait, how many? Yeah, how many
6?
episodes? 6
seasons?
6 seasons.
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
22 episodes.
I think I
roughly.
at least watched until season 4, probably.
That's impressive.
Thank you.
That's a lot of episodes.
It's a lot. It's time. It's commitment.
I have powered through Frasier probably like 4 times because I think it's funny. It's well written. And
Yeah.
It's classy. You guys have seen it?
I haven't, but I've heard that the writing is
it's good.
great.
It's really, really good. It's very dry, really, really dry humor, which I enjoy. But yeah, it's good. That's a good show.
Yeah. It reminds me of my only context of Frasier is like, do you listen to Sam Morril?
Yeah.
He did a joke about how he was like going down on his girlfriend, but like Frasier was playing in the background and like he was just focusing on how good the writing was. He was like, wow, it still holds up.
Wow.
Like, like even while
It does. It really does hold up. It's like because Frasier's like a radio therapist. Like he gets on the radio and does the therapy stuff.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting how they did that because Frasier is a spinoff
Of what?
Cheers.
Oh, okay. I didn't put that together.
Frasier was a character on Cheers, and he was like the straight edge psychologist guy, on the show to kind of bring everybody back to reality a bit. That was kind of his role on Cheers.
Yeah.
And so they spun it off, and they just like had to figure out a way to make it interesting. So they made him like a radio guy. Wow. That's a spinoff.
Interesting.
What else is a spinoff? Did you guys watch Family Matters?
Yeah.
That was a spinoff.
Of what?
Perfect Strangers.
Oh, I never saw.
And it's barely a spinoff because the mom, Harriet, was on Perfect Strangers. She was like in their office. She was the elevator operator.
Wow.
Yeah. And on Family Matters in the early seasons, I think the first 2 seasons, she was still an elevator operator in like 1992. Huh. And her husband was a cop. And they lived in the largest house in Chicago. Yeah. And it's like, there's no reality here. Nothing true about any of this.
I loved Family Matters. I think I watched more of that. I honestly never really got into Full House. Like Full House was like, I've seen maybe 2 or 3 episodes.
I watched both. It was kind of all...
I miss that vibe though of sitcom. Yeah. I wish that would come back.
You guys have to watch. You would be the perfect age to really be in shock by this documentary on HBO about Nickelodeon and how gross it was.
Is it the new one that just came out with Drake Bell? I really do want to watch that because a critique that I was seeing online though was like, Drake Bell was kind of the focus of like the abuse that he comes out and talks about it, but people are like, what about Amanda Bynes? Like, what about all the...
There's a lot of that, but I think it was probably a situation where it was like, who could we get to actually sit down and talk about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm just thinking about Drake, or Josh Peck.
I know, I'm so curious.
Yeah, he has and he's like out. He's like on podcasts and stuff, so I'm like,
wasn't he in Oppenheimer?
He was.
Oh, he was?
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
So it's like he's not like, living this private life where he wouldn't want to. I'm like, I don't know if they,
One of the people referenced in that documentary was Brian Peck, and I haven't watched it. Is there a relation there?
That's what I was wondering. I don't think that there is, but the name made me think, like, what are the
I know, I gotta
odds?
watch it. I keep seeing the clips on TikTok, and it just like came out, so I need to.
It's on HBO or what?
It's on HBO Max, yeah.
Sounds like an HBO thing.
We will be reviewing that next
next week.
No, but that stuff is crazy, and I mean, I feel like when it comes to, I don't know, the assault and stuff, it's like makes sense. I mean, I don't know. Just
unfortunately,
it's unfortunate, but it's like you have kids with like, there's not really, I don't know how involved their parents are. Exactly,
it's the wild, wild west.
Yes, I mean, I can imagine
if they were throwing enough. If they were throwing enough money at those kids and those kids' parents, they don't give a shit.
Dropping them off like it's daycare to these.
And it's that battle, I'm sure, as a parent.
Yeah.
Of just being like, well, I want to be able to like support my kid and give them all their dreams and wants and all that. Mm-hmm. But in a lot of situations, it's very rare where you find a situation where the child wants to be whatever. Yeah. It's always the parents just being like, go do this because I was a failure at life. So you need to go, do something different.
And then you find out that they were that's unfortunate. And also like I feel like another like thing that I hear, and this makes me so mad because it's just like another bunny trail,
David.
It's giving ASMR.
Thank
you. But people are like kind of another critique is like, why does it take so long for victims to like be able to speak about it? And it's just like, first of all, they were kids.
Yeah.
Second of all, it takes like that stuff. Like when
I'm 38 and I'm unlocking, trauma from when I was a kid that we compartmentalize so many things. And there's, can you distinctly remember things that happened to you when you were 8 or 9 right now? Like if you really had to sit and think about it. And would you be able to identify those things as trauma?
Right.
Yeah.
Because at the time you're not identifying that stuff as trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
happy Tuesday, everybody. I really brought the mood down by bringing that up.
No, deep episode of just jossing around, but also it's like, you know, I the podcast is fun. This is like, you know, but I also think it's important to talk about.
I know you
things.
really just like, you were like, let's drag local comedy.
Sorry, but not sorry at the same time. I think it's very important to like.
No, it is.
Yeah,
it's important to talk about it.
I think so.
Right?
And to talk about it eloquently and to talk about it with substance and to not just be upset about it, because there's plenty to be upset about in the scene, but it's like, if we don't at least try to talk about it. And I think honestly, you should probably just have those comics on at some point and sit down and like have a conversation with them.
Be like, what was going through your head when you said this?
Oh, wow. That's great. Well, I think that's why I was like, you know, this was
because they're listening.
A clip that I saw on Sunday, and it really like, I mean, I was like, affected about it. And I try not to I don't let that stuff get to me or anything, but I was just like, you know what, I have this podcast plan, and I appreciate you coming on. Like when you say talking eloquently, that is you speaking, like, and you just were able to take my emotions and how I feel and just verbalize it and say it in a way that is like digestible. And
I also just don't have time to answer like angry DMs. It's like enough going on. Get in line with the hate crime. Could you imagine how hard it is to be David the Gay on Instagram? It's like, girl.
It's
difficult.
I could imagine. But yeah, we are kind of wrapping down towards the end of the episode. I want to spend these last couple of minutes. Please promote what's going on in both of your lives, what people can do to help support you as creators, artists. So
every Wednesday at the Down Under Lounge open mic.
What time does that start?
8 p.m. And it ends at 1:30 in the morning. So it's an all-nighter.
And you have to sign up. The signups are a week in advance. 2 weeks in advance. 2 weeks in advance.
2 weeks in advance.
Yes.
So you must not get a lot of comics over there because we don't plan very well.
Actually, they've been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
They come in. Usually right after the backline, they'll come in.
Yep.
And either perform or sign up or both.
Oh, okay.
For the 2 weeks out. So signups are in person if you can.
Yeah.
If you're from out of town and you plan to come through, just send me a message on Facebook or Instagram.
What's your Instagram?
At I am Mad Darling.
Nice.
And that's my artist name also. So
Mad Darling.
Mad Darling.
You do music.
Yep, I do
Beautiful.
music.
What kind of music?
Pop, indie pop.
Don't roll your eyes when you say it. Say it with your chest. Say it with confidence.
I love a
I'm
pop girly.
fucking pop diva.
Thank you. Thank you.
We need more pop girlies. We really do.
I saw Dua Lipa on like a video the other day, like promoting something, and I was like, boring. She's great.
She's
boring.
My resurgence of caring about her is because she has dyed her hair red, and I'm invested.
I didn't notice.
You said lesbian manual, check. Love her red hair.
I love that.
No, it's like a cherry red. It's gorgeous.
I just think she had the worst line deliveries in Barbie.
Yeah.
Personally, I was like,
okay, sorry.
I was just, oh yeah, no, she's
Why
she's
are
a
we so
hottie.
obsessed with red hair? It's fine.
But like she
I
just,
like
it
the
just
dark
suits her.
red.
Fine. That's cool. She was a model.
I was a redhead once.
She was a model. I just, she's had the Katy Perry effect, right? So when Katy Perry first started and was doing like live performances of like I Kissed a Girl and stuff like that, horrible, wretched. Her on like MTV's TRL, like way back in the day when it was like the dying days of TRL, she was so bad. It was so bad. So somebody really whipped her into shape, and I feel like Dua Peep is like the same way.
Dude, yeah.
The same.
She's come a long way.
situation. She has.
She's come a long
She's definitely
way.
come a long way. It's one of those things where like the way certain artists like really hitch their pony to the Barbie, mobile. It's like,
Oh my gosh, I know.
Yeah.
it's like their entire personality.
It was all hype.
Yeah.
I felt like that movie was all hype.
It was good.
It was
good. And the thing about it is that they wanted to do a very different take on it. They wanted to do something different, something of the time. And I appreciate all of that. It was just like, it got to a point where I was like, okay, I want this to be a little funnier.
Yeah.
I want this to be different. But they really did put so much focus on inclusivity and all of that stuff, which is really, really good to see. But it was like, the plot was a little boring.
Yeah.
I also didn't understand it not being nominated for Best Picture, because I really think that even if it didn't win, it should have been nominated.
Yeah.
Especially if like some of the main actors and actresses in it were getting nominated for stuff. It's like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
but Billie Eilish won, and that's all that matters.
Truth.
I love her as well.
I'm sure you do. You really just checking off the boxes. You're like brooding young girl. Yes. Wet, honey. Moist. She really floods my basement. She really gets me going.
I'm gonna sweat. Okay.
You're gonna have so many good clips from us that you better turn into fucking shit that I can post.
I will, David.
I need content.
Okay, well,
I've lost 25 pounds since I was here last, and I need people to know.
Wow.
calves for days. I don't know if you've seen David's legs.
Oh, I have
Holy
calves
shit.
for days, honey.
Shit.
I bike a lot.
You bite.
I have been lifting though since December. I've been in a pretty intense workout, regimen.
Nice.
You can hardly tell, but like it sucks. It's like the worst.
Yeah.
You want to talk about cis heteronormative bullshit? Fucking going to a goddamn gym. Yuck! Everybody's the worst. I wear tights when I go to the gym for no other reason than the fact that it's comfortable.
Yeah.
Stuff stays where it needs to.
Yeah.
No, nothing moves, and
Yeah.
people look at me like my dick is out. It's just wild to me. It's just like, have you? And I think it's more normal in maybe bigger cities where because I mean, listen, half my TikTok is just like men working out in tights.
Yes. It's either that or those like 3-inch seam like shorts that are really
Yeah.
So
If you were both big gym goers, I don't know if either of you are, but if you were, would you dress short and tight clothes or big and baggy clothes?
I'm big baggy.
Big baggy all the way.
Big baggy.
Okay.
I go leggings, big top, biker shorts, big tee.
Yeah, that's
that
what
is
I
my
do.
favorite
Yeah, same.
favorite
Lesbian
combo.
checklist.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
Yep. Really ticking all the boxes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Who are like your who from like the 90s, who did you see as like queer inspiration for you?
I was born in 2001.
I have to go.
enough.
I'm really sorry.
Okay, from the early 2000s then, who were like your queer? When you were coming up, when you were a kid and you were like, I think something's different about me, mommy, who was really striking your fancy?
Haley Kiyoko. It's Haley Kiyoko
Haley
from
Kiyoko.
I think of her. I remember just
Lemonade Mouth.
Yeah, I remember really feeling like a connection.
Grace, you better type faster because I don't know who the fuck she's
Haley
talking
Kiyoko.
about.
But also, I was thinking about this the other day.
Lemonade Mouth.
Yeah,
What?
Haley. Yeah, and
It's
she
a
had this
Disney Channel
song.
original movie.
I'm gonna tear up thinking about the song. She wrote this song.
That's her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's old her. That's not new her. But
What was the name of? She has. Can you type in her song? She had a song that, like, I remember I was
Is it
listening.
from Lemonade Mouth?
I don't think it was her own personal
What is
music.
Lemonade Mouth? It's a movie?
It was a movie on Disney. Yes.
Oh, Haley Kiyoko.
Yes. And
Oh.
yes.
she's such a cutie.
Yes. What's that first one? Girls Like Girls. Okay, it's
yeah,
literally
yeah.
called Girls Like Girls. But I remember
Wow.
like watching that
Really,
music video.
really
it's
didn't have to reach.
But it was. I just remember watching that and like I honestly had no idea how to like process my feelings early on. But I remember like crying to that video, and being like, "Oh, something's wrong with me." But now I'm an adult, and nothing's wrong.
For me, it was, I think Britney Spears' Lucky when that song came out.
Oh yeah.
Because she cried. It was like, yes, I'm crying too, girl. I get it. You know, that was my kind of like,
If you seek Amy.
Moment.
I don't
if you
even know.
seek me.
If you seek Amy.
Oh my God. Britney was really trying. She's like, I'm going to find a way to say fuck me in a song.
Oh my gosh, that's what FUCK
You didn't know that?
It's like the whole point.
It
of
was
it.
All of the boys and all of the girls
Are begging to
to if you seek Amy.
Oh.
You are just now getting
my-
that? If that's not a clip, if that is not a goddamn clip
This is iconic.
for her social
I
media.
literally thought it was like
It's-
I thought that was a queer song. Like I thought she was like into girls because of that song. Like I literally
No.
I'm humiliated.
If you seek Amy.
Wow.
FUCK me.
Holy shit. My like third eye is like opened. That's crazy.
Wow. All these
have to
years
listen
you've
to it
been
again.
all these years you've been under the clouds and I just really blew your mind. You didn't know that either? You didn't realize that? Oh, you did.
I
Okay,
did.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So innocent.
Yeah.
It's we should just call
Wow.
this just Joslyne learning standard pop culture references around
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I'm taking that in.
How do my arms look on camera?
Really good. I love this tattoo.
Yeah,
Matching.
I know it messes my shirt.
Yeah, it does.
That's cute.
David,
Oh, yes. Hello.
plug your socials. Plug your shows.
I'm David.the.gay on Instagram because the son of a bitch who owns David the Gay without any dots in it
Give
will
it up,
not give
bitch.
up his account, and I complain about that on any platform I can. I'm David the Gay on TikTok. I'm David the Gay on Snapchat. I'm not David the Gay on Facebook because I don't use Facebook because I'm fucking 40. I'm David the Gay on Venmo. Venmo me, please.
Love that.
And that's it. That's where you can I don't have a YouTube or anything like that. You can catch me on tour with the fabulous and talented and creative Mr. Daniel Franzese, the OG Damien from Mean Girls. You can also request him on Cameo. What's Up Danny? I'm going to plug him everywhere. He's on Instagram. What's Up Danny? Because if he gets booked, I get booked.
I know that's right.
Yep.
I know that's right.
Riding
that's
those
awesome.
coattails, not talented enough to be on my own.
Shut the fuck up. Oh my gosh. Amazing. Thank you both for coming on. This was like
Thanks for
really
having us
fun to
together.
do. You guys
fun. Yeah.
Who's the messiest guest you've had?
Ooh, that's a really good.
Name him.
The messiest? Ali Kareem. Messy as hell. Messy as fuck. Messy as
so
fuck.
hot,
As in,
though.
like,
He
lots
gets
of
it.
editing?
He can get away with it.
Not like lots of editing, but like he, talk about reading people. He does not give a fuck. And I did respect him for that.
Hot people get to do what they want. That's why you didn't know what F-U-C-K-M-E meant. You just get to be hot and live your life not knowing any pop culture references.
Oh my God, dude, thanks so much.
That's going to do nothing
big
for
win.
you.
No, it just means a lot. Okay,
it
thank
means
you.
nothing as well. Because I would never F-U-C-K-U.
And I would never welcome that experience. But this was really fun.
What are your socials?
Okay, here we go. It's Joslyne DeBonis on everything.
And it's a bonus with an I.
DeBonis, DeBonis. And but most importantly, at Just Jossin Around, follow the podcast, DM the podcast. I will check the DM if it's appropriate to do so.
You have merch.
I have merch.
You have merch?
Get the
What kind of
merch.
I have
merch?
merch.
I want merch.
I have t-shirts, notebooks.
You've had this sticker on your phone for quite a while, and it seems to be withstanding the test of time. Your phone case itself, I can't say much about, but
No, the phone case is
your iPhone 9.
that is a 12. Also, you guys I'll give you guys stickers on your way
Hell
out. But
yeah.
yes, definitely check out the merch. Cute notebooks. We have one that is actually Mean Girls Burn Book inspired.
Yeah, Danny's lawyers will be in touch.
Just jotting around
I'll take one now before
before
it's
Before the
illegal.
impending lawsuit.
Okay, perfect. Thank you guys again for coming on.
you. Thanks for
Thank you,
having us.
Grace.
Yes,
This was
thank
so
you,
fun.
Grace.
The best.
Heck yeah. Fun time.
No, it wasn't. Never talk to me again.